It's the big USA-China showdown on the tariff war. That is where perhaps the biggest global headline is coming from. China countering Donald Trump's 50% more tariff threat. China's Ministry of Commerce has put out a statement saying it has noticed that America is threatening to impose a further 50% tariff. This is apart from 34% tariff. And I quote now from the statement, China firmly opposes this. If America escalates tariff, China will resolutely take countermeasure to safeguard its own interests and rights. This is a spokesperson of the ministry who said this. What are these countermeasures aimed at safeguarding security and sovereignty and development of the internal interests is what China has said. Meanwhile, the US threat to escalate tariff on China is a mistake on top of a mistake. Again, exposing America's blackmail nature is what China is saying. China is accusing the United States of America of a blackmail and a blackmail nature that's been exposed now. China will never accept it. Remember that unlike India, that's taken a more negotiation route for now. But clearly at this juncture, we are looking at a full-on confrontation between China and the USA. Remember, USA has been attempting to counter the Chinese market for a while now, and the market that's growing more dominant in other Asian nations too. In what way can India benefit from it? That would be interesting to see. So that's the latest. Remember what America has said. Apart from the 34% that's been now levied as a tariff on China, there could be an additional 50% on Chinese goods imported to the USA. Joining me now from India Today Global, Shashank Mattu for the latest on this. Shashank, good morning. Tell me more about this Chinese confrontational route that they are taking. Additional 50% says USA. China says we'll give in countermeasures too.
China is making very clear to the United States that, look, we are calling your bluff. If you wish to take a confrontational position against us, then we will push hard right back. They know as well that the American economy is the largest importing economy in the world. It needs Chinese imports as well. They're trying to basically tell the United States that, look, we don't import as much as you do. So if you impose tariffs on us and we impose tariffs right back, then it is your economy that suffers, your consumers that suffer. And they're being very clear about this. They want to use this trade war as a strategy to push the rest of the world into a coalition with China. They want to push back against the Americans, but at the same time, to the rest of the world, they're saying, America is raising tariffs on you. We're going to give you duty-free access. They've given poor countries around the world duty-free access to the Chinese market because what they want to say is America used to push globalization. They don't care about globalization anymore, but we do. We are the custodians of the global trade order. So in fact, what Donald Trump's trade war risks doing is in fact putting China in the driver's seat when it comes to economic globalization and free trade. China looks reasonable when compared to what Donald Trump is doing right now in the United States. So it is an interesting and perhaps dangerous moment in the history of the world economy.
Shashank, stay on with me because that's what we are looking at right now. It's the confrontation route that China is now taking, and with regard to how, remember, it has led to a full-on global market showdown as well. Let's listen into reactions coming in. Shashank, stay on with me.
We have many countries that are coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals, and in certain cases they're going to be paying substantial tariffs. There'll be fair deals. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already. And I said if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for years. They've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they'd make on us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way. And I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way. I have great respect for China.
你提到关于对话的具体问题，建议向中方的主管部门进一步了解。我们已多次强调，施压和威胁不是同中方打交道的正确方式。中方将坚定维护自身正当的权益利益。
Well, remember, it's globally, there have been shocked reactions that have come in. But of course, China and the USA are in full-on confrontation. They're at loggerheads right now. Shashank Mattu continues to be with us. Shashank, tell me more about this. I see that in many ways the focus is primarily on China. How do you think India possibly could get in here as an opportunity for itself?
At this point in time, what India is trying to do is it's pursuing trade relations with a number of countries. I think what India has realized is that the world economic order is fragmenting at this point in time. What it needs are reliable trading relationships all over the world. 10, 15 years ago, India signing trade deals with other countries was seen as, something special, something that there was, question mark about whether these trade agreements benefit India. But now they've become a absolutely key part of what India does. So we're talking about a trade agreement with America. We're signing a trade agreement with the European Union. We're trying to renegotiate our trade agreement with ASEAN. We're also talking to a number of other countries, including Canada, at one point in time. So what India is doing in the midst of this entire global economic confrontation is trying to patch up closer economic relationships with countries all over the world. At the same time, with the two principal players, China and America. With America, India is also doing a bilateral trade agreement. So the idea is, if the trade agreement satisfies the United States, satisfies India, then these tariffs go away. It hasn't chosen the path of confrontation the way China is, choosing the path of dialogue at this point in time. With China as well, India has normalized its relationship in some senses in the political sphere, and now there is conversation on the economic sphere. Could more Chinese investment be let in? Could there be more easier visas for Chinese technical personnel to come in? Could China help India's manufacturing growth? So India is being very pragmatic about this, about its relationship with China, and saying, look, if China has something to offer us in this time of global economic confrontation, we should take it. So that is the policy, a policy of pragmatism, a policy of working with India has got.
And perhaps that's how, in many ways, remember, while of course 26% is also, as experts have said, is a mixed bag, as Commerce Ministry said, experts have said it is high as well, but it's definitely lower compared to Asian nations, especially compared to China. Thank you very much, Shashank. For now, keep tracking all the latest on that.